If you're a longtime believer in Ethereum's future, you may have decided to invest in ETH and stake it. You're now holding staked ETH with limited options in how you can leverage your investment. What if there was a way you could release capital against your investment without having to sell it? Even if you don't need to release capital, how about just receiving a higher yield than normal? And even if you do want to sell it, imagine a way to sell it with benefits. Either way, you have to admit, there's some interesting concepts to unravel here. Watch to the end of the video to learn how the protocol works and how you can take advantage of it. Thanks to the innovation offered by DeFi, these possibilities are a reality. Cat in a Box is the first to market, offering dynamic loans against staked assets, such as and beginning with staked ETH. Loans are denominated in like-for-like assets, meaning, unlike traditional loans, you won't be liquidated when the dollar value of your base asset heads south. Cat in a Box is a lending protocol that self-stabilizes by incentivizing the conversion of debt from users with unhealthy loans into buying pressure for the system's borrowable asset. This process supports the value of the soft-pegged synthetic asset to ensure it remains attractive to borrow. The system further incentivizes healthy borrowing by directing yield from collateralized to over-collateralized portions of system deposits. In other words, users receive boosted yield on the over-collateralized portions of their deposits. The least healthy borrowers can have their loans partially resolved by other protocol participants, known as resolvers, who are incentivized to rebalance the system. If you want to know how this works, stick around. Any user can act as a borrower or resolver at any time. Resolvers can repay up to 25% of the borrower's loan at any one time by buying some of their collateral using the synthetic asset when it becomes sufficiently discounted due to losing its peg. This will present a profitable trade with the user's collateral. A fee is included within the cost of resolving. The less healthy the borrower's loan, the less the resolver needs to pay. The function used to calculate the cost of resolving another user's debt is as follows. It's important to understand that resolvers can only purchase collateral that's directly securing part of a borrower's loan, meaning the borrower will never lose their initial net worth. As the borrower benefited from the value of the loan equal to the secured portion of their deposit, they cannot become significantly net negative, even after being resolved. Over-collateralized portions of a user deposit can be withdrawn at any time. Staking yields and self-repaying loans. By default, user deposits will increase as the protocol receives and distributes staking yield. Once a user takes a loan, they can also choose to have it repaid automatically. Self-repaying loans are a significant feature to take advantage of. Cat in a Box offers a way to release capital from your staked assets only to have it fully replenished over time. Be sure to maintain a healthy loan account if this is your goal. Did we say higher yields? When a user deposits their yield-bearing asset into Cat in a Box, they immediately begin to earn at least 99% of the yield they would normally earn, plus a proportionate amount of the yield generated by the total debt in the system. Depending on how much debt is in the system, this could result in more than 100% of the yield the user would earn by simply holding the yield-bearing asset outside of Cat in a Box. The more debt a user takes on, the less yield they will earn as a percentage of their total deposit. Users only earn yield on the deposit that's not being used to collateralize their loan. Let's take an example where a user has taken a 5% loan-to-value loan, where the average loan-to-value across the system is 10%. The user will still earn more yield per unit on the over-collateralized portion of their deposit than they could have through holding an equal amount of the base asset. Plus, they will have a 5% interest-free loan. Selling your yield-generating assets with benefits. When the market is rational and efficient, users who take on higher loan-to-value ratio debt than the system average should expect to have at least a portion of their deposit resolved. This doesn't happen automatically. Another actor must actively decide to resolve you. In other words, an over-leveraged borrower becomes a delayed seller, and the length of that delay is unknown. So why not just sell their deposit directly on the market? Well, compared to market selling, there are 4 significant advantages to selling through Cat in a Box. 1. You'll be earning boosted yield on the unsecured portion of your deposit. 2. For the period of time after you take your loan and before your loan is resolved, you can enjoy an interest-free loan. This gives you time to repay your loan without ever having to sell your yield-bearing asset. 3. If the peg is restored to a higher level after you take your loan, then your debt position is less likely to be resolved. 4. When your debt is resolved, only a maximum of 25% of it is resolved at a time. After each resolve, your loan health improves, making your outstanding debt less likely to be resolved than it was. Beware the cat in a box. You may have heard of Schrödinger's cat, a famous thought experiment where the outcome can be good or not so good. At any time a resolver can repay your loan, there's never anything to stop them. However, it only makes sense for them to do this when the borrower's loan is unhealthy enough. That is, when their loan-to-value is high enough above the average system loan-to-value ratio, in addition to market depegging of the synthetic asset. The borrower's dashboard indicates at what resolve rate the user's loan becomes profitable to be repaid by a resolver. In order to maintain your loan and ensure you're not amongst the most leveraged borrowers, it's important to keep an eye on your resolve rate. Whenever this starts to approach the current market price of the synthetic, you should consider repaying your loan or adding more collateral. How to earn protocol fees. For users who wish to earn protocol fees, fee tokens may be purchased either from the protocol using the synthetic asset or independently from secondary markets. Fee token holders earn fees that are generated by depositors' yield. This formula displays the calculation that is used to work out the skimmed staking yield that's generated from total user deposits, which is paid out to fee token holders. Fee token holders proportionately share the scraped yield to return a passive income in the form of Box ETH. Fees paid to token holders will be dependent on the TVL of the protocol. The higher the TVL and total system debt, the more skimmed yield there will be to share amongst fee token holders. Governance minimized. Lessons learned from the first DeFi summer led the development team against distributing a governance token for a couple of reasons. The first being that protocols who enable contract changes are subject to significant security risks. In comparison to set and forget immutable contracts, more complex and upgradable contracts suffer from a much wider set of attack vectors and human error. This leads into the second point, which is the centralization risk of a protocol, which is supposed to be built to be decentralized. The team ideologically believes that this conflicts with the objective of DeFi. There are only 2 smart contract parameters available to admin. To find out more about these, please check the documentation, but in summary, the first is a one-way switch which permanently disables whitelisting of MEV bots used to convert synthetic tokens into collateral asset tokens. The second is a gauge that sets the protocol fee. This will become automated and trust minimized once the team has enough data to set the range in a self-governing way. The DeFi space is always evolving, and the team is happy to play its part in contributing towards its future. For more detailed information about the protocol, please consult the documentation, follow Cat in a Box Twitter, and join the community Discord. Always be vigilant for scammers. No team members will ever DM you, and there will never be an official Telegram group.